Welcome to Staring 60 in the Face Makeup Edition, Part 1. We're here in my bathroom where the magic happens. If you don't have one of these already, and I recommend it highly, my husband put one of these up on the wall next to where I put on my makeup. This is a super magnifying makeup mirror. Here it is, all lined up, my arsenal. I put my makeup in the order I use it in a line on the bathroom counter. That way I don't forget anything that I need to put on. This was actually the beginning idea for Staring 60 in the Face. I was staying with a friend doing my makeup in her bathroom, and she saw my makeup all lined up like this and said, "You need to do a YouTube channel and share your tips and tricks." You're going to see my friend in an upcoming episode where we do her makeup. I'm going to go through about half of my makeup routine right now, and I'll do the rest in a separate episode. This one I'm going to do, and I do mine a little bit out of order. I do mascara, then I do makeup base, then I do blush, and that's where we'll stop for this one. Just a couple of things I want to mention. If you don't do this already, I recommend it highly. Whatever makeup you use, if your makeup has a waterproof or extended wear version, make sure you're using that, because it's going to last on your face a whole lot longer than anything else. It may be a little bit complicated to get off at the end of the day. I can give you a couple of tips about that in another episode. Look for waterproof and extended wear. Pull the hair back. Get your hair out of your way when you're doing your makeup, if it's in your way, because you don't want to have to be getting makeup out of your hair. So do clip, do ponytail, and take the Buddy Hollies off, and we're ready to go. Get going with mascara. First thing, eyelash curler. I curl my lashes for 10 seconds each, and I give my curler a tilt like this just because I think it works a little bit better. If you are jamming the hinge of this eyelash curler into your cheek like this, you're not doing this right. Do not be jamming the hinge into your cheek. 10 seconds, let go, do the other eye, 10 seconds, count it down, yeah. Like that. Right now, my current favorite mascara is L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar Waterproof Mascara. This is the Black Noir shade. What I like about this stuff is it's a two-sided tube. One side is white primer, the other one is your mascara. So let's get going with this primer. Do a little bit on top of those curled lashes. You do not have to look like Johnny Depp and Alice in Wonderland with this stuff. Just put a little coat on. Make sure you're working into the corners. I'm going to tell you one of my corner tricks here in a secret. This is another unorthodox thing I discovered just while experimenting with makeup. Do this white stuff. This is an excellent, excellent waterproof mascara. Once you have it on, about the only thing that makes this move is allergies. And if you have allergies, that's a whole nother issue. But if your makeup is running and you're wearing waterproof, then you might want to check with your doctor to see what you're allergic to, because that is more than likely what's going on. Because a good waterproof mascara will not move off your lashes. So here is the primer coat done. Pretty much, see, I'm sloppy. I gotta get that. Now, here's one of the fun things that I have discovered in experimenting with makeup. I always like to try new stuff. I tried CoverGirl's Total Tease waterproof mascara. I tried it, and while it's waterproof, my issue with this particular mascara was that it did not dry quickly, and it was too easily smeared and smudged. So if you're listening, CoverGirl, you might want to think about that. But what I discovered about this mascara was I love the brush. And this is the brush. It's got this, I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can. It's this little bitty nub on the end that is just excellent for working mascara into the corners of your lashes. So what I do is I take the CoverGirl mascara wand and put it inside two of the L'Oreal mascara wand and go for it like that, like this. Here we go. Here we go. Make that mascara face. I think there's science somewhere about this mascara face, but if you just hang your mouth open, somehow that mascara goes on easier. Isn't that right? That brush is perfect for getting it in the little corners. So L'Oreal, if you're listening, you might want to think about redoing the brush for this. And CoverGirl, if you're listening, you might want to think about redoing the formula on that mascara so it's not quite so runny and dries a little bit faster. If any company wants to pay me to test makeup, I will gleefully do it. And here's a little bit. The nice thing about the white is that you can tell. It's very easy to see when you hadn't hit all the spaces with the black. There is the right eye just about done. Now we'll go on to the left. Some sloppies that I have to get in just a second when I'm done. There is mascara done. Mop up those sloppies. If you need to, go through with a brush and tease out where you might be clumping together a little bit. I have very stumpy eyelashes, unfortunately. I will wear fake eyelashes, false eyelashes for special occasions and certain musicians. But I don't do them on an everyday basis because I'm not good at putting these things on. And I may not torture you with a video of me putting on eyelashes, but who knows, that may be coming. Next up, I'm going to put a spray of L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Setting Spray. It's setting spray, but I go ahead and use some before I put my makeup base on because it just seems to hold it better. So give it a little spritz. The next step, I use L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. I affectionately call this the spackle. I use this underneath my eyes and on my upper lip. If you have fake fingernails, be getting your stuff out of your jars like this with the back of your nail, and that way you're not having to clean all this gunk out of your nails when you do it if you're using your fingers. I put a little bit underneath my eyes like this, because that's probably my worst spot on my face, is right underneath my eyes. I'm not trying to make this go away. I'll minimize, but I'm not trying to make it go away. Same thing with my upper lip. Just because it's not perfectly smooth and even, I'll go ahead and put some down here. That is the perfecting base, or the spackle. Next up, I put on my foundation. It's summer right now when we're doing this, and a trick I do, this is the sponge I use. Don't ask me where it came, what it is, or where it came from. I need to find another one of these myself. This was in my Christmas stocking this past year, so, and I love it, and I haven't found one yet, but I have to start looking for another one of these because it was just a great find. Right now I am using L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover. My shade is, I use Nude Beige. My shade's Nude Beige. I put a little bit of this on my sponge. That. The other thing I do, since it's summer, I like to use bronzer during the summer. I use the body bronzer. Right now I'm using L'Oreal's Sublime Bronze in their medium shade. And what I do is I put a little dot of this on the sponge along with the makeup base. Like that. And dot this all over and smooth it in. And that way you've got some summer color without having to buy a different shade of makeup base. I like this round end of this sponge. Most of the sponges, well, all the sponges I've seen where I shop for makeup, they've all got a flat end, and a flat end is not good for blending makeup. I like this round end, so I gotta find me another one of these. Just make sure you've got it all blended in, no lines. And it's got this little point. I've got the sharp creases on the side of my nose, and this point works really well blending that in on the side of my nose and the corner of my eye. The other thing you'll notice is kind of quiet in this bathroom, and usually when I'm putting on makeup, I'm jamming out to tunes. So my shameless shout out for this episode is for Sun Radio, FM 100.1 in Austin. Even though I don't live in Austin, I listen to their music, love it. They stream over the internet. They have their own app so you can listen to their station. I love their music, love their selections. They are solar powered, and they do it commercial free. They have sponsors, but they don't do commercials, and I recommend them highly. So there's my shameless shout out. Now, moving on. My next step in my makeup routine is, and I've switched brands here, I'm using Revlon Photo Ready Eye Brightener Primer. And I'll show you what I do with that. It's a wind up thing. I like these because you're getting every last drop out of the tube with this wind up mechanism. Use this under my eyes. Make sure you get it in the corners. Make sure it's on the lids. Other spot I use this, and this is a new trick I've recently learned, is just on your upper lip. Take your sponge, blend it all in. This will also help minimize upper lip lines and gives you a good concealer if you've got dark circles under your eyes. I really don't, but I use it here anyway, just to kind of even things up around my eyes. The wonderful thing about this eye primer, at least on me, is my eyeshadow does not move if I put it on top of this primer. So there we are so far. Next step, since it's summer again, instead of using pressed powder on top of this, I use bronzer. This year I'm using Physicians Formula. I'm using Physicians Formula bronzer. And I just put this on top of what I've done, on top of the eye primer and the makeup base. Light hand with powder, because nothing makes you look old more than caked on powder. So make sure you put this on, but make sure you got a light hand with it. There we go. And take your powder brush, big powder brush, and wipe off the excess. This is Milani Blossom Time Rose Shade Powder Blush, and I'll show you what I do with this. Again, this is a little bit unorthodox, but I like the way this turns out, and this was an experiment and I really like it. Very gently on the compact. You don't want to do a whole lot of this, but I put just a swipe of this all over my face for what I call my rosy golden glow. I am going to say this, Melania, for listening. You package these things so these cakes of blush break very easily. Stop it. We know what you're doing, because no one wants to carry around a broken compact of blush in their purse. So you know how you're packaging these things, so fix them. But that is my rosy golden glow. Take your powder brush, make sure that you're wiping off your excess. This is a brand new addition to my makeup routine. Literally just this week, my daughter's telling me that you need to find some flashier highlighter, and so I took her advice. This is also Milani. Funny enough, this palette, after I mentioned my rosy golden glow, this palette is called Rose Glow highlighter, and it's a three tablet highlighter, and so far I really like it. So here's what I'm doing with it. I take the rose color, put it underneath my cheeks. If you don't have cheekbones, make sure you do the fish face, and what you have will pop out. Do this underneath. Next, the gold liner goes on right on top of the cheekbone, and I'll also use some of this on my eyelid. Like that. The top one, this white one, I'll put on the very tip top of my cheekbone and do a little bit just right around the corner of my eyelid, or my eyes, like that. And there we go. Next up, I use, for my blush, I use what's called CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones. I really love this product. I've been using this for years, and I have just about there's I think one color that they make of this I don't use. I think there's 5 different color palettes and I own 4 of them. So this is just nice to use with really any color tone. It's a really good compact. I am going to say one thing, CoverGirl, if you're listening, you have these 3 sizes. They need to either all 3 be the same size or make this one that's in the center smaller, because I use the 2 on the ends. I use those a lot more than I use this bigger one in the center. So if you're listening, here's some feedback. Think about restyling these so the palettes that get used the most are a little bit bigger. But this one is their rose palette, which I like to use with reds and pinks. My other favorite is their peach palette. And again, do the fish face. The light color goes on top of the cheekbones. The darker color goes underneath. And this medium color goes on top in the middle. Like that. Take my powder brush, smooth it out. The other thing I do, just real quick, I go after the blush is done, I will go back to my Milani compact and just do a swipe, just a slight swipe of that Milani color on top. I'll put a dot on my chin, I'll put a dot at the tip of my nose, I'll put a dot right between my eyebrows. And that's the blush done. And that is where I'm going to stop for today. The part 2 of my makeup routine is going to be the eyes and the lips. So we'll see you for eyes and lips on the next episode. If you like staring 60 in the face and loving every minute of it, be sure and like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching.